just on here long enough to say that we got a double header. I'll check back in. So just for the record, I caught a pickerel. I released it at the boat. Woodbeard, caught bottom. Forest fire fish. What's this?
Fish on! Another walleye. Dinner's on me again. Maybe.
I'm in my traditional costume still, but we are going to do a non-traditional supper. And that non-traditional supper is fish, and we're going to cook it with a coconut milk base. I'm going to spice it up with some butter chicken curry paste, and for our starch we are using rice noodles. So follow along to see how we put that meal together, and also pop over to the Wooded Beardsman's channel and see more details about how we caught these pickerel and the conditions of the lake that we're on and the nearby burning countryside, for more details on our adventure. It's day 2, Woodland Caribou Provincial Park, and this morning we came up to suddenly forgot the name of the lake that we're on. I think it's Hansen Lake. I'll tell you in a minute. Haven Lake. Day 2 and we're at Haven Lake. So if you haven't been following this series, we were outfitted for this trip by Red Lake Outfitters, and flew in to Wrist Lake, and we're headed to Irvine Lake. Irvine Lake is north of us, which is approximately in this direction here, and what you're seeing above my hand here and over here are 2 forest fires. So the day before we left, a lightning storm went through and ignited 9 new fires in the park. I think there might be more than 9 fires burning right now, but I'm not sure. We're not in contact with anybody. But pretty certain that these 2 fires are on our route. I mean, we won't get there for 3 or 4 days based on our stops and our fishing plans, but it's something that we'll want to keep an eye on. And so something I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a compass bearing on those 2 fires from our location on the map, and then later when we're fishing, if I'm curious about it, let's say we're further out on the lake in a different direction, I can take new compass bearings on them, and I'll be able to triangulate on the map roughly where those fires are, and then it'll tell me how far away they are. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Alright, so first things first, Haven Lake is right up here, and I want to orient this map so that it is lined up properly north-south. So, and this is going to be approximate because my declination was set at a different part of the province. So we get ourselves lined up to north. Now I've got my map facing north and my compass facing north. So the next thing I want to do is sight my compass at the base of that big forest fire, and while I do so, I want to line up my north arrow, and then that's going to give me the direction in degrees to that fire from my position. So I've got bearing of approximately 320 degrees, and my map is facing north, and I'm going to lay my compass down on my current position lined up with 320 degrees. So this is me on Haven Lake, and that forest fire is off in this direction currently. Now if I take a bearing on that second fire, so the first fire was 320 degrees, and this fire is approximately at 348 degrees. So if I figure that out on my map from my current position, like that one's almost due north of us, and then I'll triangulate from another position. If I draw my two lines on my map from my two different locations, those two lines will intersect at a point, which is approximately where those fires will be, which is the same way that people would have located fires in the old days from fire towers. Different fire towers would have recorded the compass direction, and when they all report in their sightings of directions, you can basically draw the lines on a map, and then where they intersect, that would be the location. Forest fire fish. That's a pretty wicked backdrop,
Isn't it?
yeah.
I'm not gonna tip the boat. You're okay.
You sure?
Yeah, dinner on the way.
Hello, dinner.
Walleye. No, maybe not. Maybe it's a pike. Let's see. Alright. I can get this in myself. Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, we did it.
There you go. That's a good size eater.
Yeah.
Need four more of those.
Or 3 more. 4 total. Maybe 5. Yeah.
5 would be good.
All right.
All right, 4 more.
What's this?
Fish on. Another walleye. I think. Dinner's on me again. Maybe. You're gonna add your pike at the end.
Maybe. I'll just put on a big pike spoon and.
Yeah. Put your dirty pike in my walleye stew.
Yeah.
It's a good fight on these walleyes.
Yeah. Well, they're on average a bit bigger than what we would catch back home, I think. Eh?
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah. A little bit bigger than the last one. There we go. There's our forest fire walleye dinner.
Nice.
Alright, man. Fish number 3. We're almost eaten. We got, what, 2 more?
Yeah, 2 more and then we're set.
Right on.
Guess we could fish all night, but we gotta sleep sometime too.
And we need time to eat.
Yep.
Alright, man. Here we go.
Is this forest fire fish number 4?
Yeah, he's a small guy, though.
Say that 4 times fast.
He's a small guy, though.
Oh, you're not even gonna net him, you're just gonna lift him in, eh?
Yeah, he's too small. Do you want that guy?
No, you can let him go.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any meat on that guy. Yep, number 4. Alright. Fish number 4.
Yeah, it's number 5 because you let number 4 go.
Oh, that's true. I don't know if you count that one, though.
That's an eater.
Oh, sleeping on the net. He's the net man this time. Neat. Alright. Here we go. Forest fire fish number 4. Alright. Fish number 6, but 5 keeper.
How come there's no forest fire in the background?
We turned around. Yeah, this might be a pike. Might be a dirty pike. No, it's probably walleye.
A dirty walleye.
A dirty walleye. Biting like it's got a little bit more. Maybe my arm's just getting sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catching too many fish.
Oh, I might lose this guy. He's just on the lip. Who's the net man again?
I don't know. He's not very reliable.
Oh, he's out to lunch. Too much showing off. There we go.
Ba-dum.
We get to go eat now.
I'm in my traditional costume still, but we are going to do a non-traditional supper. Oh yeah, there's all the cream. I should have made myself a little cup of coffee to go with this. We have a pretty big volume of fish, so we're going to make sure that we have a good volume of coconut milk by mixing in a little bit of water. This is water coming up to a boil for the rice noodles. This is the coconut milk, and we want it to come up to a simmer or a boil also to cook the fish. It's getting pretty close. Okay, fish is all chunked up and it's going into the coconut milk to simmer. Hopefully we can fit it all in there. It's a lot of fish.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. So the Wooded Beardsman is obviously with me on this adventure, and he caught 5 walleye.
2 Jeremy's.
And I caught bottom once and lost 1 fish. Walleye has never been my strong fishing species. Might have to add a tiny bit of water to this just to get it all covered. So we'll simmer that, and then I'll show you the rest of it in a minute. We're limited in the size of our pots, but we got some of the rice noodles into the frying pan and they are cooking there. And the fish is probably already cooked, and I just took the lid off to let it simmer down a bit. And we'll add the curry paste shortly. Okay, this is the curry paste we're using. It's butter chicken curry paste, and it comes in one of these foil pouches. Just gonna make sure there's no dry paste up in the top. Peel that off and add that to the fish. I'm just gonna let that mix in. Right, here's our curried fish dinner, which is pretty spicy, but it's hitting the spot. I'm liking it. We're just catching the last little bit of sunlight, listening to the loons. That's that same forest fire smoke over there. was quite a bit of plane activity earlier, little float planes. I thought I heard a helicopter. We're not sure if they've started to water bomb it or if they're just observing it. The other fire is still really big. It's just further away. I'll spin you around here. So that's a big fire out there too. And I guess if I spin you around a little bit more, you can take in the same sunset as us. So it's 9:20. So that's kind of cool too, that the days are quite a bit longer up here at this time of year because you're so far north. So I was up at 5 this morning and it was light, and we're getting on to 9:30 and still pretty light, and it is just the end of day 2 of the Woodland Caribou Provincial Park adventure. If I didn't mention it earlier in this clip, we were outfitted by Red Lake Outfitters. That's Harlan Schwartz, and he's the guy to contact if you are interested to do a trip into Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. Fly-in packages. You can check out their website, see what they've got going on. Red Lake Outfitters has a really active Instagram account and really great pictures of all the things that you can experience in the park. And hopefully you get a good sense of that from watching some of these videos, including Woodbeards. If you hop over to the Wooded Beardsman channel, you can see him in profile there in the back. So some different footage, different take on things.
Better take.
Better take. Sure. He's not going to tell you about the nighthawk I heard calling earlier. Doing its little nighthawk call way up in the sky. And then it did the wing whir. And even though it was far enough away that I could hardly hear it calling anymore, that that it does with its wings just traveled so far across the water. Like probably another one could hear it a kilometer away. It's pretty amazing. And right now there's thousands of little water striders or something, eh?
They're striders.
Yeah.
Small striders.
Yeah. I don't think they'd show on the camera very well, but anyway, so we're just taking it in, calling the end of day 2 pretty soon. Stay tuned for more adventures. Tomorrow is a day trip, probably, for some lake trout. This lake has pickerel and pike, which you have probably seen now. And tomorrow's a lake trout adventure. And forest fire updates.